there's this massive, unstoppable wave of technology crashing into our schools, and it is powered by artificial intelligence. So, what does this AI revolution actually mean for the classroom today? Is it a threat, or is it an incredible new tool? Let's get into it. Right off the bat, this brings us to the biggest question of all, one that teachers, parents, and honestly, students themselves are wrestling with. Should machines be doing the thinking for our kids? Where do we draw that line? And look, this isn't some science fiction movie set in the distant future. By the summer of 2024, there were already more than 2,000 AI tools out there for anyone to use. That means this technology is already on the laptops and phones of students and teachers everywhere, right now. So let's go back to that central question. Is AI a threat or a teaching tool? Well, to really answer that, we've got to be on the same page about what we're even talking about. Okay, so simply put, AI is just technology that's designed to mimic human skills, like learning or solving problems. But the kind that's making all the headlines is generative AI. This stuff doesn't just analyze information, it actually creates brand new things like stories, pictures, even music, all from scratch. Now, it might seem like total magic, but there's a pretty clear process behind it. First, you feed it a mind-boggling amount of data, like a huge chunk of the internet. Then you clean all that data up. After that, the model gets trained to spot patterns. And finally, it gets fine-tuned by humans to make its answers as helpful and accurate as possible. Okay, so now that we've got the basics down, let's look at the bright side, the really exciting part. What an AI-powered classroom could actually look like. And listen to this from Sal Khan, the founder of Khan Academy. He says, "We're on the cusp of the biggest positive transformation education has ever seen." That's a huge statement. He's talking about a complete game changer. And in practice, here's what that looks like. For students, imagine a personalized tutor available 24/7 that knows exactly what you need help with. And for teachers, it's like having the ultimate teaching assistant. It can automate all the tedious stuff, grading, paperwork, freeing them up to do what they do best, actually teach and connect with their students. But this isn't just a what-if scenario. AI is already in classrooms, and what's happening is pretty fascinating. But here's where things get interesting. Check out this gap. A recent survey found that 27% of students are already regular AI users. Compare that to just 9% of their instructors. The kids are jumping on this way, way faster. Now, the teachers who are using it are finding some really clever ways to innovate. More than half are using AI to design fun educational games. Others are using it to speed up grading, create lesson plans, generate rubrics, basically to get a whole lot of their precious time back. And the impact can be huge on a larger scale, too. Take South Carolina State University. They used AI chatbots to stay in touch with incoming freshmen over the summer to prevent what's called summer melt. And the result? It was incredible. They quadrupled their freshman class from 300 to 1,200 students. Just an amazing success story. And what about the students? Well, for them, AI is like a Swiss Army knife. Yeah, they're using it for writing assignments, but they're also using it for pretty much everything else. Asking homework questions, getting help with tough math problems, and even just breaking down complicated instructions from their teachers. But with all this incredible promise, there's a really powerful undertow. We absolutely have to talk about the serious challenges and ethical problems that AI is stirring up. So what's holding it back? Well, the number one barrier is a lack of training. A whopping 45% of educators say they just don't feel confident using these tools. You add that to tight budgets and some really big privacy concerns, and you can see why schools are hitting the brakes. And this is where the dream of AI smacks right into a harsh reality. We're told AI could offer fair, unbiased grading, but a Stanford study found that AI detection tools were deeply biased against non-native English speakers. They falsely flagged more than half of their writing as AI-generated. That's not just a flaw, that's a serious problem. And the fairness issue doesn't stop there. About 26%, so more than a quarter, of school districts in the US still don't have good enough internet for kids to use digital tools every day. This could create what people are calling AI deserts, widening the gap between the haves and the have-nots even more. And here's maybe the scariest part. Nearly 8 out of 10 teachers say their districts have no clear rules about AI. None. That's a massive policy vacuum, and it means teachers and students are basically left to figure out this incredibly powerful technology all on their own, flying completely blind. So, like it or not, this wave is here. The question isn't about how to build a wall to stop it, it's about how we all learn to surf. So, let's talk about the path forward. And I think this quote from Stanford's Dan Schwartz just nails the mindset we need. He says, "There's no need to fear. It's not about being afraid, it's about being smart and intentional and designing ways to use this technology to actually help kids learn better." This all points to a really fundamental shift in what it means to be a teacher. They're moving from the sage on the stage who just lectures to the guide on the side, a mentor who can focus on building relationships and guiding students through their own unique learning journeys. So here's the game plan. We need to demand AI literacy programs for everyone. We have to set up clear, ethical guardrails that put people first. We must teach our students how to think critically about what the AI tells them, not just accept it. And of course, we've got to make sure every kid has a fair shot at using these tools. And just when you feel like you've got a handle on all this, let this sink in. Author Matt Miller points out that the version of AI we have today is the absolute weakest, most basic version our students will ever use in their entire lives. This is literally just the beginning. Which brings us to this final, huge question. Think about it. AI is the new calculator. It makes getting the answer easy, so our whole job has to shift. What are we going to teach when the most valuable skill isn't finding the right answer anymore, but learning how to ask the right, difficult questions?